Do you ever scroll through social media and feel massively discouraged by all the people that appear to have all the luck, talent, and success in the world? I'm sure this applies to every single one of you that is watching this video. In this day and age, it is way too easy to feel like there's no point in putting in any effort into anything at all, because there is just such a long way to go, and you feel like you're never going to make it. I want to share with you a book that can transform the way you view success. Grit: The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth. Duckworth's work shines a spotlight on an underrated but critical element of success: grit. Whether you're chasing a personal dream, striving in your career, or guiding someone else's journey, the lessons in this book are not only thought-provoking but potentially life-changing. So, what is grit? Duckworth defines it as a sustained effort toward long-term goals. It's not about talent or intelligence. Instead, grit's about determination and endurance, the kind that keeps you running long after the applause has faded. Imagine this. You've just started your own YouTube channel. The first few days are exciting, filled with optimism, and maybe a hint of caffeine-induced overconfidence. But then, reality kicks in. Progress slows. Frustration mounts. This is where grit steps in. It's that inner voice saying, "Keep going." And yes, sometimes that voice sounds more like a stubborn toddler than an enlightened guru. And why does grit matter? Because life is a marathon, not a sprint. The people who achieve great things aren't always the smartest or the fastest. They're the ones who keep showing up, even when shit hits the fan. Let's tackle a myth that's been holding people back for centuries: the idea that success is all about talent. Sure, talent can give you a head start, but grit, that mix of passion and perseverance, is what determines who finishes the race. Duckworth's research shows that talent alone isn't enough. In fact, many people with natural abilities fail to reach their potential because they rely on their talent, and when they realize how hard it is to actually achieve their goals, they give up too soon. Meanwhile, the less talented folks who stick with it often surpass them. Why? Because they're putting in the hours, learning from mistakes, and building momentum. Here's a fun analogy. Talent is like a flashy sports car. It'll get you off the starting line quickly, but if you don't refuel it, or worse, if you leave it parked in the garage, it's not going to win the race. Grit, on the other hand, is like a reliable old pickup truck. It's not glamorous, but it'll get you where you need to go no matter how rough the terrain. The first ingredient of grit is passion, but let's be real. Finding your passion isn't as simple as some self-help books make it sound. There's no fairy godmother of interests waving a wand and declaring, "You were born to become a gymnast." Instead, passion is something you cultivate. It starts with curiosity. Try new things, pay attention to what lights you up, and don't be afraid to pivot if something isn't working. Duckworth emphasizes that passion isn't just about what gives you that dopamine hit, it's about what sustains you. It's the kind of commitment that makes you say, "This is worth the struggle." The second half of grit is perseverance. This is where the magic happens. And by magic, I mean a lot of unglamorous, repetitive work. It's about showing up every day, even when you'd rather be a couch potato and binge watch your favorite show. Here's a truth bomb. Success is boring. It's built on habits, not hype. Want to run a marathon? Start by running a mile. Want to write a book? Commit to writing a few hundred words a day. Progress might feel slow and never-ending, but it adds up. Duckworth highlights that setbacks are a part of the process. Instead of viewing them as failures, see them as feedback. Take Thomas Edison as an example. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's grit, unwavering dedication despite repeated setbacks. Now that we know what grit is, how do we build it? Here are a few strategies. Number 1, set long-term goals. Have a clear vision of what you want to achieve and why it matters. Number 2, break it down. Divide your big goals into manageable steps. Celebrate small wins along the way. Number 3, create habits. Build routines that support your progress. Consistency beats intensity every time. Number 4, embrace the struggle. Remember, discomfort is where growth happens. Number 5, seek support. Surround yourself with people who encourage and challenge you. Grit isn't about grinding yourself into the ground, it's about finding sustainable ways to stay committed. Grit isn't reserved for the extraordinary. It's in the teacher who stays late to help a struggling student. It's in the entrepreneur who rebuilds after their first venture flops. It's in the parent who keeps going, day after day, despite exhaustion. These stories remind us that grit is universal. It's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things simply because they refuse to give up. So, if you're thinking of giving up, take a breath. Remember that grit isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about finding what matters to you and committing to it, even when the road gets tough. So, keep going. You've got this. And who knows, the moment you're ready to quit might just be the moment before your breakthrough.